In this comic shop spotlight, we're visiting Escape Pod Comics in Huntington, Long Island in New York. Escape Pod Comics is a shop I'd been excited to visit ever since I started following shop owner Menachem Lukens here on TikTok. Escape Pod is the ideal shop for comic aficionados with an incredible selection of comics, graphic novels, and manga for all age levels, not to mention an inventory that just seems to stretch on forever.
Hi, I'm Menachem Lukens. This is Escape Pod Comics in Huntington, Long Island. We're currently celebrating our 10-year anniversary. We opened in February of 2013 after a failed Kickstarter, after a failed career teaching. I went through about a year of horrific depression when I realized I couldn't stand teaching anymore. Tried to think of what I would want to do and try to do, and opening a comic shop really was it. I had been doing a bunch of social media SEO work at the time, so I tried to parlay that into a Kickstarter, which did not work, but garnered just enough attention that with some personal loans and sales of stuff that we put together for the Kickstarter, we were able to open the store. My favorite memory for working in the shop is something that constantly changes, because the shop is really set up to do so many different things. Sometimes the memory is just literally this morning, people walking around who came in literally just to kill time, leaving with Lore Olympus Volume 2. Other times it's people coming in and talking about shopping here 8 or 9 years ago and what it meant to them. Other times just hilarious, fun interactions with a 3-year-old. Probably the one that I tell the most recently when I'm talking about how kids love superheroes nowadays. Halloween, we give out free comics instead of candy. The town has a whole big parade, so there's tons of kids from all over come. And I had this little girl come in one of those Disney costumes. You know, the store-bought one has a little brooch of the princess that you are on it, so everyone knows. And she walks in, like probably in diapers, and she's sort of like spaced out on candy. And I hand her this Spidey comic, and she looks at it and she goes, "Ghost Spider! I love Ghost Spider!" And she turns around, her mother, and her whole dress like goes up, and she goes, "I got Ghost Spider!" She doesn't know what a comic book is. And like that story was like absolutely heartwarming. I think the most unique and interesting thing in the shop are the items we don't have. I think the lack of Funko Pops and magic cards and posters and apparel really, it gives a lot of people pause. There will be people who literally just walk in the door and go, "Oh, you don't sell Funko Pops, do you?" And it's really, I wouldn't say it goes against what people expect a comic shop to be, but it definitely goes against a lot of preconceived ideas. If you're talking about actual, like, rare, hard to find books, we have some really cool stuff. We've got Russ Cochran's black and white Vault of Horror and Weird Fantasy box sets. We've got the Locust Moon Little Nemo book that they made in 2012, which is reinterpreting Little Nemo in super fun ways. That we have lots of stuff like that you just can't find anymore. But we also just have tons and tons of great books that have fallen out of print. So it's really about what you're looking for. So it's very interesting because the shop, I think, is defined a lot more by a day like today, a Sunday, where people are just coming in and all sorts of people are shopping. But we've had some incredible events. We had a really wonderful one that we did with the local library, where G. Willow Wilson came in and she did an interview with both of our favorite authors, Tamora Pierce, and then they signed here together. That was exceptional. We had a line out the door. We were trying to replicate that with the Squirrel Girl signing for our 10th anniversary. It was supposed to be 2 weeks from, basically today, 2 weeks from today. Oh my God, a week from today. Mm-hmm. And then the book that was supposed to go in conjunction with the Squirrel Girl Omnibus got delayed. So we were supposed to have Ryan North and Erica Henderson. They were supposed to come speak at the library and then do a signing here. Unfortunately, actually, because of a bunch of things, a whole slew of our 10th anniversary stuff got delayed, moved, might not happen, and it actually affected our cash flow quite a bit. So the big thing that defines us, that we're going to be doing for all of February, and maybe even a little into March, is a big campaign to try and get people to buy e-gift cards, to buy them for their friends, to buy them for themselves if they have a little extra money, because we don't need magic funds. We have tons of great comics to sell people. We just need a little bit of a cash flow to get those books out the door. Comics are, as I tell pretty much anyone I can who walks through here, the greatest medium for conveying ideas succinctly and fully. By using both the visual and the language part of your brain, you engage the full brain and you make the reader actually understand what you're trying to give them far better than film or writing can do. So why comics is it's just the best. Like, simply put, it's the best.